There's an exciting new high-speed surface craft about to commence operational experimentation testing with Navy Expeditionary and Special Forces, one that promises to transform the way U.S. forces conduct close-in coastal and riverine operations. Called Stiletto, it is an Office of Force Transformation initiative jointly sponsored by the OFT and the Special Operations Command. With a top speed of 50 knots, an operational range of over 500 nautical miles, and a fully loaded draft of only 2.5 feet, the 88-foot long and 40-foot wide Stiletto can serve from the coastline to the high seas. Stiletto's revolutionary M-shaped hull channels water underneath the craft, providing lift and reducing drag, shock, and wake. The hull is constructed of a strong, lightweight carbon fiber composite. Most important is the craft's significant ability to network internally and externally. Stiletto's electronic keel, UHF SATCOM, and gigabit LAN communications enable thoroughly networked operations, while its 2,000 square foot reconfigurable payload cargo areas readily adapt to diverse DoD and interagency missions. The full capabilities of this new platform still need to be tested and experimented with. In the meantime, the following animation gives some sense of the potential uses of such a craft in a number of challenging operational scenarios. Seaborne SOF insertion. Our first operational scenario involves a classic covert SOF insertion. For this mission, Stiletto's loadout can be tailored to include one 11-meter rigid hull inflatable boat, or RIB, to support a 12-man SEAL team and 4 Silver Fox unmanned aerial vehicles. Before Stiletto, surface SEAL team insertions were made by closing with a large amphibious mothership to within 35 miles or so of the target, and then having the team pound into the beach in the 11-meter RIB. Using Stiletto, the large high-value mothership can remain hundreds of miles offshore, while Stiletto securely and covertly transports the SEAL team and their 11-meter RIB at high speed without subjecting the team to the pounding of a long transit in the RIB. While en route, Stiletto can launch UAVs to fly ahead and scout a target area. As they proceed in towards their objective, the SOF team can use port and starboard mission planning areas aboard Stiletto to review maps and view real-time UAV intelligence. Under cover of darkness, Stiletto can deliver the team to within a few miles of the target, be it a coastal missile battery, WMD storage facility, or hostage rescue site. As a mission progresses, Stiletto can serve as a C2 center, coordinating team communications and intelligence from the UAVs and other sensors. Once the mission is complete, Stiletto can retrieve the team and the RIB. A helicopter can extract rescued hostages as Stiletto returns to its amphibious mothership over the horizon. Our next operational scenario examines a complex coastal and riverine command and control mission. For this mission, Stiletto's loadout can be tailored to include 2 3-meter unmanned surface vehicles stored in the central part of the cargo bay in lieu of the 11-meter RIB, and 4 unmanned aerial vehicles for broad area surveillance. For the extended mission, Stiletto is also reconfigured with extra planning space, crew sleeping quarters, and mess areas. With its unmanned aerial vehicles and from a distance offshore, Stiletto can monitor the entire operational area. As a C2 command center for half a dozen 11-meter patrol boats, Stiletto can maintain broad area surveillance of the harbors, oil refineries, offshore oil rigs, and commercial waterways to be protected. When close-in surface coverage is required, the unmanned surface vehicles can be launched from Stiletto. While patrolling upriver, the USV detects a concealed ambush that had been overlooked by the broad area coverage of the UAV. Patrol boats deploy to neutralize the ambush and clear the river. Maritime interdiction operations. Among its many potential interagency missions, Stiletto is well adapted to supporting U.S. Coast Guard open ocean maritime interdiction operations, locating and inspecting merchant ships of interest en route to U.S. ports. For this mission, Stiletto's loadout would include a bow-mounted 20mm gun and a 12-man U.S. Coast Guard detachment. The electronic keel would be loaded with databases of suspect personnel and ships of interest from the National Maritime Intelligence Center, or NMIC, in Suitland, Maryland, and the latest Lloyd's data on ship schedules and cargoes. The cargo bay would hold an 11-meter RIB for boarding parties and 4 UAVs. Stiletto would initially be guided to ships of interest by Coast Guard location estimates based on filed departure and arrival reports. Stiletto's UAVs could then be used to identify specific ships using photos and other data from the NMIC databases. The UHF SATCOM links enable real-time updates from the Coast Guard and the NMIC.
Coast Guard Region 4, this is Patrol Vessel Stiletto. We have located contact of interest number Alpha Bravo and are closing for inspection. Motor Vessel Bonaventure, this is Patrol Vessel Stiletto. Request you heave to for boarding and inspection by the U.S. Coast Guard.
This is Motor Vessel Bonaventure. Roger, out.
The vessel's crew musters on the bow, watched over by the UAV and Stiletto. The boarding party also checks cargo containers for radiation and broken seals. On the bridge, the passenger and cargo manifests are inspected. With its significant onboard processing power, Stiletto can immediately compare manifest data to NMIC and Coast Guard databases. Once the ship has been inspected, Stiletto reports back to the Coast Guard Regional Control Center and the NMIC. If radiation, contraband, or other anomalies are detected, special forces and a Coast Guard cutter will be dispatched to escort the vessel into port. Stiletto can then recover the boarding party and proceed on to the next target of interest. These scenarios show just a few of Stiletto's potential uses. Stiletto should not yet be seen as an operational prototype, but rather as a platform for further experimentation and development. Areas yet to be explored include armor and armament, alternative propulsion systems, radar signature reduction, and systems such as Link 16 that enhance networking and coordination with other ships and aircraft. Size is also a basic question. Should Stiletto be smaller and more covert, or larger for greater cargo capacity? The design can be scaled up or down depending on the operational mission. The current version of Stiletto, now entering an operational experimentation and testing phase with Naval Expeditionary and Special Operations Forces, is just a starting point for new ideas. As Stiletto becomes operational, it will improve our understanding of how best to seize the initiative and achieve victory in coastal and riverine environments.